What's going on, guys? We're going to cover today's price action with the NASDAQ 100. Kind of a fun little open. I traded a lot of things today. NASDAQ futures with Top Step as well as Apex. I traded Tesla to the short side. I traded Intel. I traded Robinhood, and I traded a little bit of NVIDIA. Kind of all over the place today. We did finish green, about $500 on the equity side and about $420 on the future side. By the way, guys, right now, Top Step, or not Top Step, Apex is doing 90% off. You guys can use my discount code DAnthony if you guys want those 90% off with Apex. So links are down in the description box below. What I want to kind of talk to you guys about here is some levels that you guys can start to look at each and every single day, okay? So I always look at the 60-minute view. I'm looking at the 1-hour candles, and then I'm kind of just taking entries on the 5-minute as we confirm some of these bigger levels. So with that being said, one thing coming into today that kind of really stood out to me was a couple of things. If you look at this overnight high and you look at this after hours high from yesterday, pretty visible line in the sand. Okay, so if we were to take this out to the upside, there was going to definitely be some room that we can kind of get cooking, right? So when you start to look at those particular areas and you start to see, okay, if we can take this out, I want to be long bias. Not only are we going to be above the 20 SMA, we're going to be above the 50, so forth and so forth. Now, the next level that I'm kind of looking at is if you look at those yesterday's after hour session and you start to look at the overnight lows, we only had a little piece of demand kind of holding us up, okay? We're looking at the 50 exponential moving average, okay? So when you start to see that 50 exponential moving average or a 200 moving average or a 50 simple moving average, those are big levels that you want to kind of pay attention to. So automatically kind of looking at this whole area here, you can see not only did we have a very aggressive sell-off off the open, but it was a 338 point range candle. So one thing that I like to do is if I know that we have this overnight low here and I can see we also had this after hours low here, what I want to do is I want to take the lesser of the two because we still have a lot more measured potential. Now for me, measured potential is how much room do we have to get into the next demand zone, okay? Because my theory is very simple, right? The way that I trade is not complicated. There is a lot of moving parts, but one thing that I try to focus on is support and resistance, right? Just to keep things very simple. So if we break an area of support, I tend to look at what is the next area of support, okay? That's my measured potential. That's the potential outcome, the potential move. That is what we live and die for, right? Is the potential, right? It's always potential. Nothing is ever a certainty. It's always potential. So with that being said, if you kind of look at that price, 26,086, and you kind of start to look at that potential, well, we had a little bit of demand down here at around 26,010.
I am working hard alongside Congress to ensure that we can fully fund the government without delay.
That's just.
I am working
We got the squawk box going, guys. We got the squawk box going. So let me mute that a little bit here. Apologies for that. The squawk box is reading off a bunch of news and stuff. So with that being said, what we're looking at is I'm looking at the next area of potential, right? So in this particular case, we're looking at around 26,000. We're also looking down here towards 25,970. I know that if price action starts to get going, we've already lost all major supports, right? On the 60-minute view. It's a very good opportunity, a very good chance that we continue into that next support, okay? So when you pull up the 5-minute time frame and you kind of see, exactly what happened today, and I'll just move this over and we'll kind of come back and see what happened off the open. So if you look at what happened off the open, remember this white dotted line here is that overnight and then that kind of yesterday's after hour session low. Okay, that's our potential. Now, if you look at the 5-minute time frame, you'll notice this blue line here. Okay, this is a linear regression channel. Linear regression channel 50 on Thinkorswim. So if you guys are using Thinkorswim to do your charting, you guys can definitely mark that out. So what I'm looking at here on this 5-minute time frame is I want an entry. Okay, I'm looking for a particular spot that I can get short off of this move. Now, if you look at the first 5-minute candle off the open, look at how that candle closed. Okay, so we can, some people will say it's the 5-minute opening range break. Sure, you can call it whatever you want. It's the first 5-minute candle. This candle closes in a bit of a hammer candle, okay, an inverse hammer candle to say the least, because candles were red. We were going down. So if you look at this inverse hammer candle here and you look at the wick, you'll notice that that wick actually broke that overnight in yesterday's after hours low. Okay, so at this point in time, all you have to do is start to click the button and click sell, right? There is no guessing, there is no hesitation. Is the price breaking the level that you were looking at? Yes. Okay, then we're going to click the button and go short. It's not that hard, right? Now, does every time you get one of these particular levels drawn out on your chart, does it work in your favor? Absolutely not, right? If it did, we would all be multi-millionaires. But what I want to say is that if you don't start trusting the process and you don't start trusting your levels and your analysis and your strategy, and you don't have the ability to execute because you're trading at a fear, you don't want to lose your account. This is a fresh funded account. Maybe you just bought a batch of evaluations and you're trying to nitpick and cherry pick the best potential trades. It's not going to work, right? You have to have confidence in this business. You have to know what you're doing, and you have to be okay with reacting fast, especially if you're trading the NASDAQ and especially if you're trading off the open, because price moves very, very quickly, and price moves a lot. Like if you notice, this is a 91-point range candle. So if you are wrong on your thesis or analysis, or you're wrong on your trade idea, you're going to get stung a little bit. So how do you kind of combat that? Well, you don't be an idiot, right? You don't go out there and trade 5 mini contracts off the open, right? If you can see that the volatility is up and you can see that these candlesticks are rather large, maybe more larger than normal, then you want to cut your size in half, okay? So if you're normally trading 1 mini contract, trade 5 micros. If you normally trade 5 micros, you need to be trading 2 micros, right? You want to cut that position size in half. Now, again, rule of thumb always states to use the previous 5-minute candle as your stop, that high, right, in this particular case. But in this particular case, we're not going to give ourselves a 91-point stop. So where can I find an extra area of resistance that, if broken, my trade is invalid? Well, if you notice this green line here, this is what I use a lot of the times to manage my trades. It's the 5 simple moving average. I call it the power trending moving average, right? It's going to hug extremely tight to the price action. It's going to follow as best as possible, and it's going to try to keep you as safe as possible in very volatile markets. Hence why I call it the power trending moving average, the power trending simple moving average. So if you look at this 5 simple moving average, if we get short through that 5-minute opening range low, through that overnight session low, what we want to do is we want to keep a tight stop. As long as we're trading below that 5 simple moving average, we want to try to hold this trade. Now, what's our measured potential, right? The measured potential on the 5-minute time frame was sitting down here at this linear regression, which was 25,879. Now, kudos to you. You have a lot bigger you-know-what than I do. If you held the entirety of that move, I did not, especially when candles are moving 90 points. I'm a scalper, okay? I'm a scalper at heart. If I'm going to essentially a lot of the times risk 20, 25 points, maybe 30 points, depending on the size, I'm looking for 10, 15, 20 points in my favor. And if I can, rack in a couple of these trades, it turns out to be a pretty good day, right? Again, I'm not going to sit here and try to swing for the fences, and I'm not going to try to make, $2,000 or $3,000 a day. That's not what I'm out here trying to do. I'm trying to make $200, $300, $400 a day, and I'm trying to make as many of those days as possible. So the thing is when you start to stack up $200 here and $500 here and $300 there, you're going to get to pay out pretty quickly, depending on the firm you're with. So if you're with Apex, they have the 90% off sale. You need 8 trading days over $150, something like that. You need to stay within a consistency rule, very basic stuff. You could essentially be on your road to pay out in under 2 weeks. In under 10 days, essentially, right? If you're with another firm, I trade with Top Step as well. you can be well on your way to get paid out in 5-6 days, right? You can take out half the balance, so forth and so forth. Now, Top Step's a little bit more expensive. You obviously have to use Top Step X platform. Some people don't like that. Hey, I get it. If you don't like it, use TraderVate, use one of the other Rhythmic or whatever platform of choice that you like. I definitely recommend to go with Apex. And again, yeah, I am an affiliate for them, but it's because I use them. Okay, I've been paid out by Apex. I like TraderVate, the platform. It's easy. It's simple to use. I can group trade. I can, point and click and put limit orders and stuff on the chart. It's very, very easy to use. And I like the capability of getting 20 accounts, right? Who doesn't? So again, if you go out there and buy a batch of 10 accounts and you happen to blow 2 or 3 of them, it's okay. You've got a lot more accounts in the bank versus other firms, you can only have so many. So with that being said, but the point of this whole video is that you've got to start looking at the higher time frames, and you've got to start marking out those bigger pivot levels, right? Previous day low, previous day high, overnight session low, overnight session high, Asian session low, Asian session high. And then you're looking for momentum to come through off the New York Open, whether it be long or short. And again, you want to have that confidence to execute. So for example, you're looking at a smaller time frame, getting the levels off of a 60-minute time frame, and you're executing on those small time frames, okay? So again, first 5-minute candle is an inverse hammer. That to me is signifying this has momentum to the downside. If we can just get confirmation through that level, we want to be in on the trade. Hope you guys understand what I'm talking about here. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Let me know how you guys did today. Did you guys catch any of this move off the open? It was a fantastic move. Kind of like a mixed bag. Towards the end of the day, we had, what seemingly was looking like a little bit of a bear flag, and then it just kind of kept going up and grinding to the right. And you can see into the close, we actually had a nice push into the close. So again, hey, it wasn't a complete V-shaped recovery, but it was a damn good recovery, enough for you to catch a little skin off of that cat. So with that being said, I'll see all of you guys on the next one. If you guys want those evaluations at 90% off, links are down in the description box below, or you can simply just use code DAnthony, and I will see all of you guys on the next video.